most of the time when my friends go to the cinemas, I'm working on that day, so obviously I can't go. But this is one of those rare times where I wasn't working, so you know, it's nice to actually go out and watch a film with your friends at the cinemas, especially when you haven't done it for so long. So yes, of course I went to watch the Avengers. So obviously this is kind of like a big release. It's really, well, you know, the movie's clearly anticipated by a lot of people. Like personally, I'm not a comic book fan, I'm not a superhero fan. I didn't really care about the movie. I was just watching it because my friends were. I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll come. I didn't really care about the movie, so I just went along with them anyway. I expected a good movie though, because obviously it's been getting a lot of good reviews. So I expected a good movie, although I didn't really care about it. But I was expecting a good film. Like, I wasn't excited for it or anything, but I was anticipating a good film. I did see the first trailer. When the first trailer for the film was first released, I did watch it because it was like all over the internet. I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. It looked pretty bad to me. I didn't like the looks of it. I was like, oh, that's going to be awful. I just wrote it off straight away. Yeah, so now I finally watched the movie, and for those of you who don't know the story, well, of course you know the story. A bunch of Marvel superheroes, such as Iron Man, some dude with a bow and arrow who I've never seen before. You've got Thor, Captain America, etc, etc. They all team up to work together to take down some really big bad guy who is pretty powerful. So the only movies I haven't seen of these superheroes would be Thor and what's the other one? I don't think the guy with the bow and arrow has one. I don't think he has one. I don't even know what his name was. I can't even remember his name. I've never seen him before. So maybe he has a movie, I don't know. But I haven't seen Thor. I didn't watch it because it looked bad. Like, I don't know, maybe it's good, I don't know. It looked bad from the trailers. I didn't bother with that. And the other movie I haven't seen is Hulk. And Hulk just doesn't really sound like an interesting... Well, the superhero isn't really interesting to me anyway, so I haven't watched that. Like, I do have it on DVD. I've had it on DVD for a few years now. I just haven't gone around to watching it. You know, obviously I'll watch it one day, but it just doesn't. Like, there's nothing motivating me to watch it. It just looks pretty boring. I'm not a fan of the Hulk. Okay, so how about the other movies? Captain America, I hated. That film was bad. I really did not like that. Iron Man, I thought that was great. Iron Man 2 was even better than the first one. I really liked Iron Man 2, and that's probably the best of the bunch, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, that's all of the superheroes, right? I'm not forgetting anyone, I don't think. Okay, so on to the Avengers. So, yeah, I liked the movie, it's good. With a movie like this, it's like when you've got like a bunch of big name, well-known characters being brought in for like a crossover, I guess you've got to be careful not to piss off the fans. I mean, like, say someone likes, I don't know, someone like really loves Captain America or something, and like Iron Man is like in 75% of the movie. Like, obviously they're gonna get pissed off if something like that happened because their favourite character is getting overshadowed by someone else. And of course the movie shouldn't be about like one person more so than the other. All of the characters need like an equal amount of screen time. All of the characters need to be like equally as important as the other, which is like, for a film like this and with characters with with personalities as big as this, I guess it would be really difficult to pull off, I would imagine. Like, writing the script and editing it and everything, and like shooting the movie and everything, it would be really hard to pull off, I would imagine. But I think they did a really good job, like a really great job with this. All of the characters, like the way they interact with each other and how their personalities clash and everything, you know, it works. Like, it's fun to watch everybody, all of these heroes in one room, just like talking to each other. Like how Tony Stark's like really arrogant, pompous and douchey, and like Captain America is kind of like the cool head. He's trying to like calm everyone down and diffuse the situation. And you got like Hulk, who's always suspicious of everyone. You know, I think all of the characters were handled well, and like even in the fight scenes, everyone was balanced. Like, everything was balanced. Everyone got like a fair amount of screen time. All of the characters, like, not one character overshadowed another. Like, all of the characters got like an equal amount of screen time. All were as equally as important as the other to the story. You know, they just did a really good job of the characters, so kudos to them for that. And I would have imagined that would be a really difficult thing to do, so well done for that. One character which I just hated is the Scarlett Johansson character. I guess the character name is Black Widow, I believe. Yeah, she just didn't need to be there. I mean, clearly the producers threw her into the movie for sex appeal to up the figures at the box office. She just really didn't need to be there. Yeah, she was just like really annoying. I really didn't like her. Just like, I was just kick her out the movie, you know. She just did not need to be there. Yeah, it's just that was one thing that really pissed me off about the movie. Her character, the Black Widow, I guess she's called, just completely pointless. Didn't need to be there. And even in the fight scenes, she didn't do anything. Even in the fight scenes, she did nothing. It's just why are you here? Like, you know. Okay, so the acting was the acting was fine. Like for Black Widow, like yeah, even Scarlett Johansson did a good job of playing the character, I guess. Like even though I hated the character and she was pointless, the actress did a fine job. The Hulk was great as well. Like the Hulk is pretty boring. Like well, I mean, like I don't really find the Hulk that interesting. Just imagining watching those films, I can't see myself enjoying them. They just don't sound too interesting. But watching the Hulk interact with like all these, because obviously you have all these other characters as well, so it's not going to bore me because I've got all these other characters to kind of perk my interest as well. But watching the Hulk interact with these characters as well was fun too, and the actor who played him was great. Like there's a great moment at the start of the film when Scarlett Johansson is trying to convince him to come with her to help them find the bad guy, where he kind of slams his fists on the tables all of a sudden in a jump scare, and he screams something like "Don't lie to me." He screams something like that, and I just think that's really good. That was like a great moment. Like the actor sold it, and then you have like all the SWAT team like right outside. I thought that was great. Yeah, the acting was great. The bad guy in this, I guess he's from Thor, because they say he's Thor's brother at some point. I haven't seen that movie, so I'm not quite sure if I'm missing out on some backstory here. Like, I didn't even know what the hell that tesseract cube was from. Like, I don't know, maybe it was from Thor, I don't know. I didn't really care though. I was just like, I just assumed there's some important infinite energy source of some sort. Like, I didn't care. I just went along with it. I was like, whatever. But yeah, the bad guy, I didn't really buy him. I guess I didn't feel as if the actor was was charismatic enough. He just didn't really seem too intimidating or threatening. I just didn't really buy that. I just didn't think the actor was really intimidating or anything. So the bad guy in this film, I didn't really think worked too well. That's another thing I didn't like about the movie. So you have the Black Widow character was completely pointless, just annoying as hell, and that guy, the bad guy, didn't work too well as a bad guy. I didn't like him too much. Yeah, the pacing was good. I mean, the action scenes they used like sparingly throughout the film. I mean, you get one action scene at the start of the film, then you get like 40 or 50 minutes of them gathering the Avengers, and then of course then you have your first fight scene, and then you have like 20 more minutes of dialogue, then another massive fight scene which goes on for like 30 minutes, and then of course at the end you have like a 40-minute fight scene, which is very similar to Transformers 3. I'll get into that later though. So yeah, it was paced really good, and the humour in this film was great as well. Like, I didn't laugh out loud at one point in the movie, but like I don't really laugh that much anyway. Like I said before in another different review, I don't really laugh when something's funny. I will acknowledge if it's funny, but like I'm not gonna laugh out loud. I mean, it's kind of hard to make me laugh out loud. Yeah, like, I can't really think of a movie that's made me laugh out loud. Like The Expendables, I think is the last movie that's made me laugh like literally out loud in the cinema. But yeah, like it does have some great moments, some pretty funny moments. Like, so when people did laugh out loud in the cinema, I wasn't pissed off at them for like laughing at something really stupid. Like all of the jokes, I was like, yeah, sure, that's funny. And like, so when people laughed, it didn't really piss me off. Like I was fine with it, because like when somebody like in some movies when people just laugh at like really stupid jokes, it really it grinds my gears. I'm kind of sitting there in my seat, kind of like clenching the arms of the chair, getting really pissed off. But yeah, the jokes in this movie were great. Oh yeah, like I really liked the Gallagher joke as well, when Tony Stark points out that guy's playing that game. I thought that was great. One joke, there's only one joke in this whole entire film which I thought was awful. I was kind of rolling my eyes at it. No one laughed out loud, thankfully, but jeez, I didn't like it. This guy has a gun, and he's approaching the main bad guy with it. He's approaching him and he says something like, this gun, it's really powerful. It's so powerful and so amazing, even I don't know what it does. Like, he says something along those lines. That I liked. I thought that was great. I mean, like, a few people chuckled. I liked it. You know, it was like really subtle. He just kind of just said it. It was like a passing joke, a passing line which just felt natural in his speech. When he's approaching the bad guy, he's like, even I don't know what this gun does. I thought that was great. It was just really subtle. Like, they didn't make a big deal out of it. I was like, yeah, sure, that was great. That's a great line. And then later on, he fires the gun, and you know, like this massive like fireball thing comes out of the gun, and then the camera pans over to him, and he's like, so that's what it does. I was like that joke I didn't like. It was a bit too like in your face. Did you get it? Like sort of thing. Like the passing comment he made was really subtle, and I really liked that. But when the camera just lingers on him for like 5 seconds, and then he just goes, so that's what it does. I was like, oh, just no. I didn't like that joke. That joke was pretty bad. That was kind of frustrating to listen to. Yeah, okay. Fight scenes, yeah, the fight scenes were done well as well. Like, you know, what was it, like, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but they were like staged well. I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but they were like done well. Like, they were acted out well. Like, they were thought out well. Like, the actors would have to, you know, you know, I can't think of the words. Choreography, I think. Yeah, there you go. You know, they were choreographed well, I would say. The fight scenes were well done. I mean, like in Transformers 3, I didn't give a damn about any action scene in Transformers 3. Every single one was boring as hell. I just really didn't care about that movie. I mean, literally, you have all these explosions and all this crap happening. I just didn't care. All of the action scenes in Transformers 3, they were just boring. I really did not care. And then you have that really painfully slow, boring ass, torturous sequence, like the last hour of the movie, where everyone's just fighting. You know, all of the Transformers are fighting, and it goes on for like an hour of them just fighting in the city, and it's just so boring, you know. But this movie, I guess the action scenes were just done better, I guess, because like, I wasn't bored in them. I do feel as if this movie kind of ends similar to Transformers 3, where you have like a huge battle between the good guys and you know, the bad guys versus the good guys. Like the Avengers fight like some huge army in New York at the very end, like some huge like 40-minute battle. I do feel as if that went on for maybe a bit too long than it should have, but I was fine with it. Like, I didn't get bored. I was starting to towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, it was still fine. I liked it. And of course, like I said, there's not like a lot of action scenes either. Like, there's not a lot of action scenes. There's only like 4 in the whole entire film, but like one of these is like 40 minutes long, another is like 20 minutes long, and then the other 2 are like 5 minutes long. But so the action scenes, they're spread evenly throughout the film, so when you do get to an action scene, you're kind of interested, as opposed to Transformers 3, where they have it like quite, you know, pretty much throughout the whole entire movie, so you get bored really easily, and it just gets really monotonous to watch. I really hated Transformers 3, I mean, everybody does. Yeah, so the action scenes in the Avengers was done well, but the final action scene kind of got boring towards the end slightly. I was starting to get bored, but it was still fine, you know, it's fun to watch. Of course, the Black Widow, any moment with the Black Widow sucks. She was awful. Like, what did she do in the final battle? She just killed like 1 or 2 guys, as opposed to the body count of like 1 million, which Iron Man racked up, as well as Thor and the Hulk, etc., etc. Okay, there's one really, really awesome shot. I've just got to point out this shot. It was just like really, really cool. And I was just sitting there like, oh yeah, you know, it was just really good. It happens in the final fight sequence where the heroes are battling, you know, this army of like, I don't even know what the hell they were. I guess they were some army from Thor, I guess. I don't know what the hell they were, but it's just one shot. There's just one continuous shot where the camera pans through the streets of the city, of New York, and it's going through like all over the place. It's going everywhere, and it's just showing you all of the heroes fight. Like in one shot, we pan like through the sky to watch Iron Man like flying. Like you got Thor and Captain America. They're standing on top of this massive flying creature thing, fighting a bunch of bad guys on there. So like you go from the ground where you've got the Black Widow, someone else I don't know, fighting on the floor. We like the camera kind of like pans up. We see Iron Man shoot a few guys. Then we pan to the top of the creature, where we get to see like Captain America and I think it was Thor fighting a bunch of bad guys on top of this massive flying creature. It's just one continuous shot, like showing each member of the Avengers in one shot fighting all of the bad guys. I thought that was great, and I also thought it was great how they kind of the heroes, just the way they work together. Like one shot where like Iron Man like shoots a laser at Captain America or something, and he uses the shield to like deflect the laser, and the laser like bounces off and hits a bunch of bad guys. Like why Iron Man couldn't have just like shot it at the bad guys anyway instead of reflecting it off the shield, I don't know. But it looked pretty cool anyway. And when Thor and I believe Captain America are on top of the flying creature, like they do some like combo thing where they work together. Like when he slams like this massive piece of shrapnel into the creature, and then like Captain America like slams it down with his shield or something like that. Something like that happens, but like the way they work together like that, I thought was really cool. And yeah, you know, all that stuff was just fun to watch. Yeah. Okay, so how about the special effects? I'm coming close to the end here. The special effects were they were really good actually. I thought they were great. The Hulk definitely looked a bit. I mean, he was bearable. He was alright, but he definitely looked a bit too fake in some shots. But he wasn't awful. Like he was bearable, you know. I liked him. Like he was bearable, I'll say. But yeah, the actions, the special effects were pretty much, they were great. I mean, obviously it's mostly CGI, but it was good CGI. I'll say that. And here's another thing I didn't like. So it kind of similar to Transformers 3, how both movies end in like this huge battle in New York. I think it was New York in Transformers 3, I don't know. But they both end in a city, this huge battle, like with an army. And, you know, obviously the army's like attacking the public, you know, just shooting bombs and shit at everyone. One thing I didn't really like about the Avengers, which Transformers 3, which I liked about Transformers 3, like Transformers 3 was a horrible movie, like don't get me wrong, but I liked that they showed like all of the carnage that all of the Transformers were like doing. Like they were like blasting people, like you saw like people just literally explode. Like they just zap them with these laser beam things, and like people literally just explode on the street. Like it was kind of like pretty powerful, like showing all these people like just getting slaughtered and just getting completely wiped out. That was great, but in the Avengers you never got to see any of that. Instead, like they're always shooting all of these bombs, like these explosions are going off everywhere. No one is ever getting caught in the explosions, and like an explosion like occurs like 10 centimeters or like, yeah, literally like 10 centimeters away from someone. Like the explosion goes off, a car blows up, and the guy next to the explosion just keeps running. Like he's not even like phased by the explosion. No one gets hurt or killed. Like personally, they didn't really imply that anyone even died in this. Like it almost seemed as if everyone lived. I mean, like you have tons of moments in the final battle sequence in the city where these like bad guys, like the soldiers from the army or wherever, they've like got like a kid or someone, like some innocent civilian cornered. They're about to shoot them, and then like Iron Man just flies in at the last second and grabs the civilian and like flies off to save him. They always do these moments, and like they corner like 50 people in like a building, and they're gonna throw a bomb down, and then someone, like one of the heroes, like Captain America comes in at the last second and saves them all. Like it just seemed as if they implied that no one ever died. Like we definitely never ever saw anybody die, and like I just feel as if it you know like it would have made like it would have made it more powerful if we got to see people die, but instead it's like the Avengers are like some flawless team which managed to save every single civilian. I just thought that sucked. I really wasn't a fan of that. But overall the movie was great. I preferred Iron Man 2 in my opinion is the best of the bunch. I really liked Iron Man 2 and it's a lot better than the Avengers in my opinion. Like the Avengers was good, like some people are trying to say as if it's like one of the best superheroes ever made. Personally, I disagree. Like it was good, maybe great. I guess I guess I would go as far as to say it's great, but it wasn't fantastic. Like it wasn't amazing. It was nothing. It wasn't anything special. I won't say that. It's definitely worth seeing. It's a really entertaining film. It's not amazing. It's not nothing like that. It's nothing special. It is a great film to watch though. Like I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Like, you know, 5 is average, 6 is good. If I like rated the movie 6 out of 10, it's good. Then so like a 7 is like above good. But yeah, it's nothing special, but it's definitely worth watching. It is good. I'll say that, but it's not amazing. Like The Dark Knight Rises, this is the first, like the trailer for The Dark Knight Rises came up in the previews before this film was showed, and like that trailer was like the best time I've had in the cinema when I watched this movie. I enjoyed watching the trailer for The Dark Knight Rises more so than the whole entire movie of the Avengers. But yeah, the Avengers, it is a good film, so yeah, sure, watch it. It's really entertaining. I didn't like it as much as everybody else seemed to though. But yeah, definitely watch it. So it's entertaining. Black Widow is pointless as hell. The characters are handled well. Everyone's developed well. Everyone interacts. You know, it's fun to watch everyone interact and watch the personalities clash and watch them work together in the fight scenes. The fight scenes are great. It got a bit boring towards the end with the final 40-minute fight scene in the city, which was very similar to Transformers 3. Special effects were decent. And yeah, that's everything I have to say. So go watch it. Yeah, just watch it. It's great. Not amazing. Okay, so I've given my thoughts on the movie now. So now I'm gonna get into like one spoiler. I want to talk about a spoiler here. Okay, so leave the video if you don't want spoilers. So at the very end, Iron Man is like flying. He's got a nuke, and he flies in through the portal into space with it. I thought that didn't really make much sense. I was just thinking, he just let go of the nuke like just as he's about to fly through the portal, like let go of it, so then the nuke flies through the portal and bang, it, you know, blows up there. Like why? I'm sure it looked like he could have done that. Like I'm sure someone's gonna try and argue with me in the comments saying some bullshit about, well, the momentum that he was flying at was so great he would have flown into the portal as well. Nah, I don't buy that. I'm pretty sure the suit would have stopped. He could have stopped himself with the suit in time so he didn't fly through the portal. I thought that was really lame. And you know, of course they have a huge ass cop out moment where they close the portal, and as it's closing he's kind of flying back in to try and get back to Earth. And they're trying to play off he's not going to fall out in time, fall back onto Earth in time before the portal closes. And of course he comes in at the last second and he's alive. That sucked. Didn't like it. And I was just like, I was sitting right like this, you know, when we watched this, it was packed. Like it was pretty much full. So like on my right I had, you know, all my friends. Then on my left I had this little kid sitting next to me with his mum and his brother. So I had, you know, for the whole entire movie I had a kid next to me. Thankfully he wasn't too annoying. He didn't really you know, he didn't really speak too much. I mean, there was a few moments where he was like making all his comments. I was kind of like, you know, but he didn't really annoy me too much. But I thought his reaction to Iron Man like falling towards the portal before it closed was great. Like he was leaning forward, like really leaning forward. So I was just watching it, and like to my left I could just see enter my field of vision some kid leaning forward, like getting closer and closer and closer to the TV screen. Like the kid was really into it. He was like on the edge of his seat, like literally, like really literally on the edge of his seat. I thought his reaction was kind of cute. But yeah, like obviously, you know, if you're like above the age of like 12, you know Iron Man's not gonna fall. Like, you know Iron Man's gonna fall back in time. I'm just thinking, I'm just saying, it would have been so amazing if he didn't. Like, I would literally like bump this up to like 8 or 9 out of 10 stars if Iron Man just died. Like, just imagine how cool it would be if the portal closed just as he's about to reach it and then he just dies. Like, that would have been really, really cool. Of course, this means that there's no more Iron Man movies, and of course they're making an Iron Man 3. But this would have mean no more Iron Man movies and he wouldn't be in the Avengers 2. But imagine how shocking and how unexpected it would be. I just think that would be really cool. So, like, you might be saying, well, no, they can't do that because they wouldn't be in Iron Man 3 or the Avengers 2. Well, just don't put him in the movie then. Replace him with someone else. If you're like, well, he's too big of a character to leave out those movies. Okay, then don't have this moment where you're trying to pull off that he's not going to make it back in time when us, the audience, clearly know he's going to get back in time. Like, don't try to make that kind of excuse. It's just like, okay, if you're going to make that excuse, don't try and have him. If you're going to make that excuse, well, they couldn't have killed him. He's an important character. He needs to be in the sequel. If you're going to try and make that excuse, then that scene is just bad. They shouldn't have had him flying back towards the portal. Like, it was just really unnecessary in that case. Like, there's no suspense. You know he's not going to fall back. You know he's going to fall back through the portal in time. That scene just really pissed me off. It's just such a cop-out. Like, when you get moments like that, you're always secretly hoping that the character is going to die and not get back in time, so the filmmakers have, you know, really got you and really shocked you and done something really, really unexpected. You're really hoping that, like, the you know, directors or writers decided to do that. Of course, and then you're really disappointed when they do make it back in time in situations like that in films. It really grinds my gears. So that bit was really just like, had my eyes rolling. And yeah, so that's all I have to say. That's the spoiler section done. Oh yeah, and the ending. I did stick around for the after credit scenes, not the bits where they're sitting around just eating food in silence. I have heard about that. But no, we didn't stick around for that. We stuck around to watch the sequel setup where some guy with a red face turned up. Like, when I watched it, I was kind of like, huh? Like I said, I'm not a superhero fan, I'm not a comic book fan, so I had no idea who he was, but it's not really, you know, like whatever. I didn't care anyway. I was just like, yeah, okay, some villain from the comic books, okay? Like, you know, I didn't care. He kind of looked like Red Skull from Captain America. I was kind of like, is that Red Skull? Like, I was asking them, I was like, what's that Red Skull from Captain America? And apparently not. So I looked online, apparently some guy called Fadon or Fadus, something like that, I can't remember his name. I don't really care anyways, like, I don't read comic books or anything like that, so I don't know anything about the guy, so I don't care anyway. Like, you can tell me his name, I'm just like, okay, I don't know him, whatever. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Avengers. It was good, and yeah, that's all I have to say, so thanks for watching, see ya.